Okay, so we've got one of the EG4 electronics solar air conditioner, 12 kilowatt, the indoor and outdoor unit that can run. Let's see, it says it cools and heats, 100% copper, Wi-Fi capable, power meter, and so when we open this up, we find that there's a template that we'll use to put on the wall, and it shows us where we can drill our holes. This is where you would, if you wanted to cut a hole in the wall here, you could cut a hole in the wall and run your lines out there. I choose on all of mine, since this is on the west wall, and this will get up to 180 degrees in the summertime, I choose to take and bend my refrigerant lines down and go straight down and then out the wall. And if you can see right there, there's a hole in the wall right there, and go out the wall right here where I only have a very small amount. If this was all out there, that would be 180 degrees on that, and it would make it less efficient. So I choose to run all of my lines way down there. Since we already have that hole there, and it's going to go right here, and I believe it is a 16-foot line set, we won't have any problem running it down the wall over there and then out. We should have plenty of. So when we open this up, first of all, we see our drain line, which I have a whole box of this that's like 100 feet, so not really worried about that. And it looks like we have our remote right here with our wall holder. So this you would mount on your wall like I have right here. It'd mount it right there like that, and then you just set your remote in it wherever you want. So I'll probably mount this remote, since it'll be right there, I'll probably mount this remote like right over here, directly across from where the mini split's going to be. So we have that, and then we have another bag here with, looks like mounting screws to actually go into the drywall. If you want to put those in drywall, we're actually going to find the studs and go into the studs. So, and you also have some more here. You have actually 2 bags of those. You have an Allen wrench that we'll use. You have putty that will be used once you run your refrigerant lines, communication line, and power through the hole in the wall. You'll use this putty to go around all of your lines, and that'll help seal it up so you don't get bugs in. Then you give you the MC4 connectors for the male and female, and they give you both sides so that it'll actually connect with the MC4 connectors that you already have on the outside. The problem is there's a lot of different MC4 manufacturer connectors out there. And I've used them, and I found that you want to use the same exact ones with the same exact ones for the male and female. Some of these things don't fit very good. I found that they've had problems where they've gotten real hot. So I try to use a better quality one, and I try to use ones that match the same manufacturer for using the male and female. So they give you the, looks like identification, might be the serial number. And then you give you the instructions and all the specs on this to install it. So this is the photovoltaic DC AC split system air conditioner installation and owner's manual. So they give you all of that in here. And then let's get all this. It's kind of hard to do this one-handed, but please forgive me. So far, this is going to be the best quality inverter that I've bought. I had the aux and the premium brand, and they've worked well for me, but I am really excited to try out this, especially with the fact that I won't need any. So I went ahead and removed the packing on the end on both sides because it's just too hard for me to do while I'm using this one-handed. So we're going to take this plastic off, and then we have this plastic on here as well. Now in here, we also have the material that we're going to use. I'll show you. This is a roll of it. It's to kind of tie all this stuff. You wrap it around. I actually painted that, but you wrap it around there, and it keeps everything nice and tidy. And then you can put a you can buy covers to go over that, so it makes it look even nicer. Here is the communication cable, and this is 16 feet long. I believe at least 16 feet long. And here's the exciting part. Okay, here's your drain line right here. And here's the exciting part is these valves on the end where you don't need any special tools. You just need a channel locks or a pair of adjustable wrench, or we'll see what it says to use in the instructions. But these are, as soon as you put the lines on, they connect. So you don't need to pull a vacuum with this. All my other ones, I had to pull a vacuum when I connected them to get all the contaminants out of the line before I released the refrigerant that's stored in the outside unit. But with this, there's no vacuum line needed, and no gauges needed for that as well. So in here, there's a screw. If I can get it out here. There we go. There's a screw that holds on this plate that we're going to mount this plate on the wall. Here we go. So there's a screw right here that went right in here that held that in place, and that's just for shipping. So when we take this plate off, it'll actually go like this, and you can see that sticks out. So the top of the mini split catches on this part right here. So it stands away from the wall. So if we look right here, we have this template right there that instead of trying to hold this thing up on the wall and figure out how it is level and everything, we can just tape this paper or this cardboard template on the wall where we want it to be, and then we can actually figure out where we could drill our where we would drill our holes to put our screws in. And like I said, with that inverter, we went right into the studs. We used a stud finder. So, so this outlines the indoor unit is right here on this outer edge here. And then you wanna, I know usually when you go to mount it, I think they want you to be at least 10 or 12 inches from the ceiling so you don't starve. Now, this one up here, I only have maybe 4 inches on there. What I really need to do is mount that lower. It works really good. It cools the garage great, but it probably is starving it a little bit. So, you know, it's kind of mounted like that high. And these mini splits really need to be about 10 inches or more from the top of the ceiling to the top of the mini split, right there being the top of the mini split. So, but I like this on here that you can actually tape this on the wall. Now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take and cut this insulation off right here. And so we'll have to cut it out like we did there. And that insulates that wall over there. There's no insulation if you, and you can't really, I don't know if I can move this or not. But usually, so usually in your walls, there's no insulation in your garage because it's a garage. So we have no insulation in here. So we actually put this 1.5 inch insulation foam board on here. And that wall gets 180 degrees in the summertime on the other side. So there's just air in between. So it needs to have some type of insulation. So we'll probably just cut it here along there and mount that up there. And we're gonna go ahead and start to put this on here. I'm gonna try and piece all these things together, all these short videos into one, and hopefully it'll come out all right. So let's put that stuff up on the wall. Let's cut that insulation off and get that ready to be mounted. Okay, so we have the cardboard taped up here. And in the instructions, it says that right here, it should be 5.9 inches down. And you want 4.75 inches on each side of this. It's gonna be a little tight. I'm gonna have to move this one over. I'll have to move this one over a little bit. But the problem is right here for the studs where I need to go into, the stud is actually this mark on the wall here and this mark over here. So this is the pattern that goes on there that you can use, the cardboard padding here, to line this up. So you can see that I need, when you go, I need to have that screw lined up right there where that line is. And then over here, that line is going to be this hole right here. You can see right above it. So I'm gonna have to mark this hole that I'll have to go into to be able to go into the studs, and then it'll hold there on there firmly. But you use this. Now, in that it says, so we want to be 5.89 inches down, from the ceiling. And if you look on there, right there, it's 5.9. And then we want this cardboard template to be level right there. And you can see that that is level. So this is no problem to move this over a little bit so that I can hit on the studs. Not a big deal. So it'll get plenty of air coming into this. So we're gonna go ahead and mark these and drill holes in there so we can put our screws in to, so we can put our screws in here. So basically, this is gonna be lined up right here, like this. It's gonna be mounted on the wall like that. I'm gonna put a screw right here in that hole, and then over here, I'm going to put a screw in this hole right here. And then that'll be enough to hold those two screws. And on this is the outline up here of the outside of the mini split. So over here, so that outline is that of that mini split right there for the whole dimensions all the way around. That's where that will fit on the wall. So you can see when you're hanging this on the wall that this outer edge right here is going to be your, it says right here, indoor unit outline is that outer side. And it's 32.95 inches, 11.61 inches going up. So now we can take and actually through our cardboard just drill a hole. Oops. We can take and mark right here that we're going to drill a hole right there. And also, well, it looks like we could either go in this one right here or this one. So we can go in either this or right there. Now, one of the problems, I'm going to take this off. One of the problems I was running into was when I was, oops, see if we can get this. This AC detection was right here, and it must be coming up on the 2x4. Oops. Let's see if I can get this to work right here. Okay, so the AC detection is there, but when I went and moved it, so it looks like the wiring's on this side of the 2x4 and not on this side. So we're gonna have to be really careful when we drill into this, that we're going into the stud and there's wire on there. So we're gonna use this I believe on this is one, it could be 2 layers, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna use like a 1/2 inch self-tapping to get through there and see if I'm still not hitting the wood yet. And if it is, then I'll get a 1 inch self-tapping and see if I can get through there, because I know they have 2 layers of drywall on here on the ceiling, but I'm not sure about the wall. And that's for fire protection to slow down the fire in the garage. So we're gonna go ahead and put that cardboard. We'll end up putting this, cardboard put that cardboard back up so that we're level on there, and then we'll go ahead and mark our holes in here, there or there, and then over here, and then mount that. So just, if you have one of these stud finders, it's really nice if you have that it's detecting electrical, because you don't want to tap into that and get a fire. So you short something out or get a fire, and then you got to call an electrician. So you don't want to go into that mess. Just be careful that those wires are going to be back a little bit off the 2x4. They're not going to be right up against the drywall. So this thing is not that heavy. Trying to remember, I want to say they're around 20 pounds or so for these, maybe 20, 25. So they're not too heavy. So you don't need a lot going in there. I'm trying to see if I can find my screws here. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. But there are some in there. Okay. So first I'm going to go into the wall with one of these 1/2 inch self-tapping screws so it'll drill in. And then I'm going to go into it with oh, here it is. There's a 1 inch, 3/4 and a 1/2 inch. So I'll go with this 1/2 inch first, and then the 3/4 inch here, the 1 inch here, and see if I hit wood. And I'll be able to tell whether if it's 1 layer or 2 layers of drywall. Actually, looking down in this hole, actually I can see it's a 5/8 drywall, so it's only 1. So this is a 1 inch like I have right here. So let's put that right there. That might be a 1 1/4, but it's not going to actually tap into the wall. Here it is. it's not going to actually tap into the wall all the way into the wood. So we're going to have to get a longer, here's something that we could probably get away with this one. You can see the difference there. We could probably get away with using this one and not hit any wires. So we might try and do that one. And that should hold it on the wall. Two of those should hold it on the wall. And they're self-tapping there. So, and if we really wanted to be extra careful, we could drill some holes and use these plastic anchors in the drywall and those screws. We could use those in here, you know, anywhere that, because we're putting a hole right there, and then over there. So we could put one over here if we wanted to, and one right there. It, you know, just depends on what you want to do. But I'm probably just going to go there and there. I might put an anchor in those down there, just so that when I go to remove it, it's not kind of flipping up. Because sometimes the way that this fits on the back of that, this is the bottom, and it clips in like right here and right there. This is a different unit, but it clips in like right there. So if this is able to come off the wall a little bit, it makes it hard to pull this off the wall. So we might go ahead and put a screw like right here, right there. So we could, on this, we could like put a mark right there, and then mark right there. So we put one here, one up there, one over there, and one there, and that would make it solid on the wall. So the only thing we need to do is get a drill bit that will be a little bit less than this. Let's see if I can show you something. I might have one over here. Okay, see, we want a drill bit that is, like this might work right here. If you, it might be a little bit too big. Nah, it's a little too big. So we want a drill bit that is going to be smaller than this, so we can tap this into the wall with a hammer. And it was going there. Here we go. This might be a little closer. So you can see the difference of those two. So we could drill a hole with this one and then tap this into the wall. It'll stand there nice and firm. And then when we put the, screw in there, it will actually split this out. These two pieces right here, it'll split it out and hold it onto the wall. So go ahead and take that drill bit, take a drill here, and I'll show you. Let's see if I can do this. Put this drill bit on there. Not easy to do one-handed. Okay, there we go. So, show you what I mean. So I have the drill bit on there. So, oops. So right here, put this on the wall here. Right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and drill into the wall right there. Now we're not going into a stud in this, we're just going into the drywall. And then right here, we're gonna go in right through this cardboard. And let's see if I can get up here. All right, so using our template, we went ahead and drilled our 4 holes here. And we went ahead and pounded this in. The hole here wasn't really quite big enough, so we just lightly kind of took the drill in here like that and made it so that it will accept the anchor into the wall. So we can get that pushed in a little bit right there. Then we take our hammer and hole needs to be a little bit bigger. There we go, and we got plenty of those anchors because we're only going to use 2. So let's, sorry, my back's killing me. So we got it in there. All right. So now we can use these longer ones for the top, and then these that came with, you can see the other ones are shorter. They're not self-tapping. These right there we can use on the bottom. So change out our bit here for our Phillips head, and put this up on the wall. So we're gonna get this screw started in there. We should be able to push it in. There we go. Push that one in. And push this one in right here. And then we have this one will go in here. This one's going in the anchor, and then this one goes in the anchor as well. So we also want to make sure that we've got those in like that, that we're still level. Put this on here, and you can see our bubble's still level. So we're still good there. So we can go ahead and put these screws in there. That one, you're just going into the anchors, so you just want to barely get it tight. Don't over tighten it, because then you'll just strip it. And then this one's going to go into wood. I can feel it catching, and that caught there. And then this one right there. Oops, sorry about my finger there. And that's in there. So now that we have this mounted, this is solid on the wall, we can go ahead and put our mini split on there. But before we do that, the mini split here has the lines in the back. So we actually, it's going to be mounted on the wall just like this. We're going to take this and just set it right up on the wall there. So this line is good. We're going to take and bend this around so it comes out of this end. We're going to have to pop this piece out of here. And I usually just take and use, here we go, wire cutters. Just some wire cutters. And I just take and, take and press it on like that. And then down here, you give you 2 different options there. And if you just do that, you can just pop this thing out like that. And then I'll have to turn this around. Be very, very careful when you're turning this around so you don't kink the things. Probably what I'll do is these have zip ties here. Probably going to take these zip ties off, cut this back a little bit here, and make sure that I'm not doing anything, because I actually want this to come out and go down on the wall. And then this over here, there's a clip on there. If you can see it on there, but there's a clip on there that it's hard to see. There's a clip right on there that I have to take, and then there's a I don't know if on this one I can do it. I thought you could. So it might be the 24,000 BTU. Yeah, here it is. It's actually right here. There's actually a plug. There's actually a plug right there that you take out. Take this end off over here, and you'll put it in here, and then take this black rubber plug and put it over here. So I have everything coming out here. So when this thing is on the wall like this, my tubing will come down the wall like this, just like it's coming out of that side on the right-hand side and coming down. So I'm gonna have to do that, and then I will come back. All right, so we switched it around. We put our tube over here for a drain line right here. And we put our, it's a little easier to see the plastic plug right here. And I just actually used the Allen wrench that they gave me. This is what you'll use to release the refrigerant, I believe, into the system. There's a hole right here. And you just kind of push it in there and push that plug down in there all the way and then pull this back out. And then over here, I cut this foam, and there's a plastic ring going around this to help to keep from kinking it. And you just want to go really slow and just bend it to the shape that you want. And if you look on here, you'll see that here's the front of it. Oops. Here's the front of the mini split, and it's coming down the wall. And up there, see how it's coming out of the right-hand side of that mini split? It'll be coming out the same way off this side. Now all we need to do is get some zip ties and tie that back up and then set it up on the wall. And I'll be back for that. So after you have the tubing bent, set it like this, and then you can feed your communication wire through right here. You can see through there that, there's not much room. So if you feed it through, because this is going to go up this way, following the lines. So we have it like that. And we're going to connect these, and it's going to be real easy. You see there's 1, 2, 3, and ground. And on here, here's your ground. Ground matches the ground symbol right there. And then on these are your numbered. Here's the red is 1. The black is, if I can get it turned around, black is 2 right there. And the white is 3. So we will loosen these up. And we will put there's the 1. Okay, the 1 goes on there like that. And then we'll have, it's not easy doing this, but you want to get underneath. There's a ring on here. You want to get underneath that, I think. So we got 2 there, and then the third one here. Oops. So you want to get under there like that on those 3, just like that. And then this one, I'm going to have to take the screw off because it's a round terminal instead of a U. So, and you just want to make sure you tighten those down good. So we're going to go ahead and do that and then put this up on the wall. All right, so we have that mounted on the wall. And as you can see, we have our communication cable coming down here along with our drain line and our refrigerant lines in here. We zip tied those up. Like I said, we put the wires up in there, and you can see the red is 1, the black is 2, the white is 3. And so you just match up the numbers, and then there's the ground symbol for the ground one. And there's the 1, 2, 3, and ground. So you just match those up. I lost this clip somewhere along the way, so that piece that I popped out over there, I just made a little piece and hold that wire in there. And then I zip tied it over here so it won't move at all. So, and then you're just gonna put your cover back on here. Oops, like this, you're gonna put that in there. Oops, and I dropped my screw. All right. Gonna put our screw, sorry about my hand here. Can't, it's really tough trying to do this one-handed on a video. So let's try it again. Okay, we got it in there. Let's get our screw on the end of our screwdriver. So we got that. Put it in. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to stop the video and put the screw in and come back. All right, we got it sitting in there. So, okay, we got it tight. There we go. So we got that tightened down. Go ahead and set this down. And should just double check that again. Make sure that bubble's nice and even, which it is. And we are at, it's actually showing a little bit more than 6, but that's fine with me. I have no problem with that. Because we want a little more airflow to come in the top, because right now this is close to that one. But I want to compare these two, so I want that to be close like that. So that is that part right there. The next part is we will go out and install the outside unit. And then we'll be able to put this ring in. This ring actually comes apart. You can actually push this apart and then it clips back together. And then we'll actually use this to tie up all of our stuff. So we'll have to run our refrigerant lines, which should be in here. We'll have to run those either from the outside in or connect them here. But it's probably going to be easier. We're probably going to have some coil left over out there. So it'd probably be easier to straighten out the coil and run it in here and bend it into shape, bend it over to follow this line and up here, than it would to go this way through the wall. So we'll try that. But anyways, we've got the head unit installed on the wall, and the next video will be installing the outside unit. So I'll piece all these together and make one video. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I'll put a description or links in the description. And when you click on those links, that helps us to get a small percentage of the sale so that we can purchase these things, test them out, show you how to unbox them, install them, you know, what they can do and everything else. So it helps our channel a lot when you click on those links. It doesn't cost you anything extra to, no cost extra to you. It's just they give us a little bit of sale because we know that you watched our channel and you purchased through that link. So have a truly wonderful and extremely blessed 2025.